What to consider when buying. There's many different motors and wings, all with their pros and cons. Some of the things of a motor you want to look for. You want to look for a lightweight motor, makes it more agile for launch, easier to handle, and makes for better success of launch, but yet you want one that has power enough to push your weight under your wing to get you off the ground and climb. You also want to look for a tuned exhaust, which is characterized by a swollen in the center muffler versus a straight. That creates a quieter motor and a more horsepower of the same size piston. So tuned exhaust tells you got the lightest possible motor and the quietest. You want to look for a strong cage or a sufficient cage to hold, because that means sometimes when you land, if you misjudge your landing, cage holds or you fall over on launch, the cage will protect the prop and also keep the lines from coming back into the prop. You want to look for the reduction gear, the reputation of the reduction gear for the motor. That's a very common bottleneck of stressors, energy. It's a common failure point is the reduction gear. That's where all the propeller push and torque is right there at one spot. So you want to ask about the reliability of a reduction gear. You also want to look at the starting mechanism. Is it electric start? Can you start it in the air? Or if you fluff a launch and you have enough to do a reverse, if you don't have a starter, that means you have to unclip and lay it all out, start it, get back in, and try it again. If you have a starter and you killed the motor when you saw the wing starting to come down, you simply lay the wing out, press start, and now you're ready to launch again without having to unclip, pull start it and what. Electric starters are nice. Some units you can pull start them while they're on your back. That's nice too, because that way you have less weight of the starter, the battery, the circuitry and what, and it's just a pull start, and it's always going to start. You don't have to worry about a battery being dead. So it's less weight, more reliability. Let's see, you also want to look for the comfort of the harness. And some people like weight shift. That's the ability of the harness where you can roll a leg over this side to turn the wing. Some people like weight shift, some people don't. It all depends. It's another reason why you want to take the course first, because it gives you insight as to what you like to fly with, what kind of wing you want and such. Wings. Again, there's many different types of wings, all with their pros and cons. There's some that launch very easy, and that's important to you because it means you can get off the ground your first attempt. Easy and fly, kites easy, stays up there, you get a more successful chances of launch. Most of the damage to the units happens on launch. You go to launch, the wing didn't come up just right, you gave throttle and the wing gets blown, parablended, pulled back, you eat the lines, or you get pulled up and it had a collapse on one side, so as it comes up, this side overflies and sets you down. You'll continually try and try and try to launch again with a difficult to launch wing. So it's very important. So again, you'll want to know, do you want a wing that launches easy or that's built very heavy and stable? Different wings for different types of pilots and conditions. So also you want to get a wing that you're within your weight ratio of lightest possible weight load to highest. With a motor, we generally want to be towards the higher end of the weight rating. You can be even over it, as some of us like to be, because you can compensate with the thrust of the motor to still climb. And thereby you have a very rigid, less likely to collapse, and very acrobatic responding wing. Also, you want to get a wing that has DHV rating or AFNOR rating. Okay, you don't want to get an experimental wing. Make sure it's got an AFNOR or DHV rated wing. It's been tested and proven.